All right, let's sit down. A couple announcements. Next month, we're going to do a mitochondrial panel. I got Philip Miller as one speaker, myself, and if you know of anybody out there that's a mitochondrial, and Doug is going to be a part of it, maybe Steve Folks, and I got hopefully maybe Dan Dunphy, who's a personal friend of mine, who's really good at all this as well. So we're going to have an interesting panel next, talking about mitochondria and aging and decay, and that's really the secret to a lot of things. The other thing is we need support from you guys to bring speakers in, since, you know, we lost the most influential and the most wonderful person I know of, Mike, who supported this group, and he provided the financial means to help bring speakers. And we need your help, and really, if you can even just donate $5 tonight, it would help enormous. And if we can do that every time we meet here, it'll help just bring a speaker. I like to bring Dr. Mahtav Shafari, a brilliant scientist in the field, who talks about the pure facts of aging, the real important facts and how we actually age and all that. And I've had a wonderful meeting with her at the A4M, and she really has done some research, and she's also followed everyone else's research, and we'd like to get her up here. So if you can help support this one, we'll get her up here to speak, and you'll have a wonderful evening, I guarantee you. Okay? So we need your support, really. Since we don't have Mike, and I want to again express how important Mike was for this group, and his support to the group and helping bring speakers and providing their plane travels and hotels. So we can't do it. And tonight, you know who's doing this? Susan Downs, and she's not even here. She's funding the speakers and tonight. So we need to help her out too, because she's supporting the group, and so is Sharon. So you got three powerful people here, Sharon, Susan. They're really helping out with this, okay? Couple announcements. Okay, there's a conference coming up. If you're really interested in ozone therapy, who is interested in ozone therapy? Okay, there's a conference coming up to the first annual International Association of Ozone in Healthcare and Dentistry Congress in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be February 7th through the 10th at the D Hotel in Las Vegas. And there's going to be a speaker there that I've had the privilege of emailing back and forth and bringing her to the United States with Robert Rowan and Frank Schallenberger. Her name is Dr. Sylvia Menendez. She's a researcher in Havana, Cuba, who's spent probably 30, 40 years of research in the field of ozone, and she's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of scientists from Germany, US, Egypt, and Frank Schallenberger is going to be lecturing there, and so is Robert Rowan. If you want to go and look it up, it's www.iaohd, like Henry, David.org. It's a 4-day event. It's $995. It includes all the lectures, all your meals, and your room service. It's well worth it. One of the individuals that's putting this conference up is a dentist by the name of Eric Zaraminski, a Polish guy, like him. And I personally have found a new dentist in my life, and he is my dentist. Wonderful human being, wonderful. The most kind human being I've met. And I've met a patient of his with cancer who I've been working with. And because of the financial difficulties of this one patient, he provided free service to this individual, this dentist. Where do you hear that? That's how loving, wonderful. So Eric is putting up this conference also, so it'd be wonderful for you to meet him. He's in Marin, and he's in Green Bay, California. And if you want his phone number, if you want another dentist, 415-461-3141. Eric Zaremski, Zaremski. Okay, another. Next, you should be getting your Smart Life newsletter. I don't know, Susan. Next, on the 28th of January, I've been invited by the MS support group to lecture again. And this is probably my third lecture there. And it's the Clark Medical Building in it's on 795 El Camino Real, Palo Alto, California. It's going to be the third floor. If you want information on it, and if you want to leave me your email, I'll forward it. That evening, I will give a 2.5-hour lecture on, you'll probably meet a number of my former patients with MS who have been totally free of MS for 10, 15 years now. One of the members who organizes this has gone from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane, who's working out in the swimming pool, working out with weights every day, and is able to walk back and forth. So we'll talk about the causes of aging and cancer and MS. It's all travels the same, pathway. And we're going to be talking about some new exciting research. And one of the research we will talk about that's exciting, even Dr. Abram Burr and several other doctors, MDs. Sherry will know. We were at the A4M and we treated quite a few MDs with severe pains. We're talking about herniated discs, hip degeneration. We're talking about colitis, Crohn's disease, all types of disease. With this one device we use, we gave 5 to 20 minutes of treatment to about a dozen or more patients. With one treatment, all the pain was gone. And we already sold to 6 MDs at the conference, and now we have a waiting list for several more. And even Dietrich Klinghardt, who you know, he bought one, and he was standing there while he was observing these people getting treated. And immediately he says, "That's mine." So we're going to talk about that. It's an infrared magnetic field. It provides 2 fields at one time. That's the secret, with a certain pulse. And we've also, you know Susan, right? Okay. If I tell you what happened to Susan and when she comes here next month, she went to the Sundance to work at the Sundance Film Festival at Utah. And she had 1 hour sleep because she was stressed out with tonight and next month's speaker, and Sharon can tell you, right? She was going crazy. Plus, she had to go to Sundance. So she only had 1 hour sleep for the several nights. She got there, she had the worst flu. She had the worst sore throat. We were talking about it. And she bought the machine last month, and she put it on her throat and fell asleep with it. Next day, woke up, the flu was gone, her sore throat was gone. And she did it one more time, and she says she hasn't felt this good in her life. It will knock out a sore throat in that short period. So, all right. Another thing is, if you're, this is a lesion of a diabetic person with is the leg, right, John? From a bypass surgery. A zeolite that John and I have been involved, I've been involved with this zeolite for almost 5 years, but John has taken it to another level. It's a 1-micron zeolite. It's never been done before. It is that good. It is almost pharmaceutical grade. It's never been 1 micron before. And John has been in the industry for quite a while in zeolite for many applications, but you can see it almost completely gone. If you want to look at this, I'll pass it around, but make sure he gets it back. Zeolite has a tremendous potential. Let me share another thing we did with zeolite, and this is published in the, if you go Google, you'll see zeolite and calcium. If you combine zeolite and calcium, you can reverse osteoporosis. It's in the publication. You can just look up zeolite and calcium. It's well documented. And we're using a unique calcium from eggshell. We found that the form of eggshell calcium has higher absorption than any form of calcium we've seen before, especially in osteoporosis and also in arthritic conditions. There's a company called ESM, and that's what we're using now, and they have a wonderful product. Okay, we're going to start with the main speaker, and I'm going to have Doug come back up here and introduce the speaker. So don't forget, the 28th, 7 o'clock is the lecture.